Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about a new movie that I just watched on Netflix. Because of this whole uh, COVID-19 situation, we're all in lockdown, so we might as well watch some things that are on Netflix. And I'm happy to say that I checked out one that I didn't think I was gonna like. But I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought it was. And the reason why I was a little hesitant about this one is because I didn't like Netflix's last action film, Six Underground. I don't even think I did a review for it because I don't like reviewing films that I didn't like. I know some people love it. Hearing, people bash a film that was terrible. Me, I don't like bashing films. I think people work hard on these movies, and there should be a level of respect. Unless, if I was being paid to review films, then yes, I would review them bad and good with all my heart. But I'm not being paid, so I can choose the movies I like and the ones that I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about this one, Extraction, starring Chris Hemsworth. That's one of the draws that I was interested, as well as the fact that the Russo brothers, of course, as you know, the directors of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, and of course, Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame, they produced this film with director Steve Hargrave, who directed this movie. And Steve Hargrave, it looks like he doesn't. He is more of someone that has worked in stunts in the past and worked on a lot of stunts that from movies we recognize, including the four movies I mentioned already, including movies like The Wolverine, The Hunger Games. He also did Deadpool. So he's worked on a lot of stunts, and obviously he's worked on a lot of MCU films, including the ones, like I said, I just mentioned. Which explains his connection to the Russo brothers. So I said, okay, let me check this movie out. If the Russo brothers are producing it, I am curious of what they were going to do after Infinity War and Endgame, because I love those movies so much. I love all four of the movies that they've directed. Let's see what they can produce. And I know they did a movie with Chadwick Boseman last year, and it did catch my interest, but it kind of fell off my radar. I don't know how that movie turned out, but maybe I should check it out now, because I really, really thought this movie was a really badass action film. I'm going to be honest. As someone who's kind of tired with these kind of action movies, I was actually surprised at how interested and invested I was into this character's journey, from having to protect this boy who is the son of a drug lord, and having to protect him, and kind of forming a little bond with this kid. And I was surprised at how much that did get me interested and invested into this little easy story. Now, of course, with movies like this, you kind of know what to expect, right? There's certain elements in these kind of action films that are pretty easy to, okay, I know what's going on here. I've seen this before. But then there are things that happen that, specifically towards the end of the movie, that I was actually caught off guard a little bit. So I'll say that much. I am going to say, you know what? Chris Hemsworth, I always thought was a great actor. Now he just shows that he's on the level with Liam Neeson and Keanu Reeves as a really badass action star. As if the Thor movies didn't show that he was already a badass. This just takes him to the next level. And I really liked seeing him and this kid form a little bond together. There was a nice little scene where they're kind of taking it easy in the middle of the movie. Like a pit stop, if you will, and the kid and him are bonding, and the kid even says, "You don't look like a Tyler," and Chris Hemsworth kind of chuckles, and He says, "What do you think I look like? You look like a Brad." I actually thought he was going to say Chris in that moment. You look like a Chris, but I guess they thought that would have been too on the nose. But yeah, now that you think of it, Chris Hemsworth does look like he could play a Brad. David Harbour is in this movie, but don't. And I don't know if they've been advertising him in the trailers, but his role is not as big as you might expect. He's definitely a very small supporting role. That's in and out, and that's about it. For the most part, I think Chris Hemsworth is the only well-known actor, but I thought all the actors were really good who were in this movie. There were a lot of unknowns that I didn't know who these people were, but I was like, okay, these guys are really good actors, all of these people. So yeah, hopefully, we see more of these people in other movies. If Hollywood would actually branch out and be more diverse with some of their acting selections, because you could use actors from different ethnicities. So, with that being said, look, I'm surprised myself. I'm giving this movie an 8 out of 10. I know that's probably like the the rating I would also give to John Wick. I think I gave all three John Wick movies like an 8 out of 10, and even the original Taken, I would probably give an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's up there with those type of movies. I think. I think it's a really badass action film. You can definitely tell this was done by a stunt guy. The director definitely had a background in stunts, because the action sequences. They go all out. There were times I even had to cover my eyes a bit, because it's like, I don't want it to get this intense. And I would say maybe I didn't need to, because it didn't get that gruesome. But there is a lot of blood, so this is definitely not for kids. So with that being said, look, guys, this is a movie. If you love action films, this is definitely a movie I recommend. It is a badass action film. If you've seen it, let me know and tell me what your thoughts are on it. Did you enjoy it as much as I did, or do you think, nah, David, I don't know what you're talking about. This is just like any other action film. I'm getting tired of these movies. I hope not. This one is a good one. And if the Russo brothers are going to produce more films, I'm very excited to see what other films they're producing, because I heard they started a company that's going to be producing films with a lot of familiar faces that they worked with in the MCU, because they know how talented that cast is, and they deserve to go out and branch out and do other things as well. And I think it's awesome, because sometimes I feel like some actors get typecast, but this shows that no, if you put them in the right movie, you can get a pretty cool film out of it. So it's just all about the end result. It has nothing to do with who's in it. That's all I'm going to say. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, take care.